Pleasant morning, dear students. Welcome to English class. As we have started the lesson, the summit within, it's really very interesting. Okay, mounting the Mount Everest or any great natural construction or the natural structure is not just a physical climb, especially when it comes to the Mount Everest. It's not an experience that is with the HPS Ahluwalia and the team of members in his expedition. It's not just a physical attempt. It is consisting emotional as well as spiritual. A person one who gets up or a person one who galloped the great Mount Everest or one who had achieved the experience of mounting the Mount Everest, okay, he could be completely turned to be a great person. Okay, you will be taken from one world to another and you will be having a kind of experience which you couldn't have ever in your life. This is the utmost okay, and the most precious attempt can any mountaineer have. Come across the page number 79 of the summit within. Let's go through the passage. Looking round from the summit, I go through the first paragraph. Looking round from the summit, you tell yourself that it was worthwhile. When you go up, okay, you would always consider yourself as going to or making an attempt of reaching the Mount Everest is really worthwhile. And he also says that when a person reaches the Mount Everest, definitely he would be thinking of his own God to whomever he served. Okay, we all serve God. Okay, the mountaineers can be belong to any religion. A man who belongs to different religion, definitely that person or the mountaineer would be thinking that God is there. Okay, they would be thinking of their God. Okay, whomever they worship, they definitely think about the God to whom they serve. Let's come to the second paragraph. I left on Everest a picture of Guru Nanak. Rawat left a picture of Goddess Durga. And Pudorji left a relic of Buddha. Edmund Hillary had buried a cross under a cairn. What does it mean by? So after you reach the Mount Everest, definitely you would be getting the thought of God. If God is not present, if God's presence on this world or this universe is not there, this kind of great achievements or this kind of natural structures can't be achieved by man. Man is given utmost intellectuality and man has got enough knowledge of reaching this kind of big or achievements or getting something which is very important in his life, and God has not driven them to till that point he may not achieve any great thing cannot be achieved by man. If God's support and presence is not there in the universe, such great things cannot happen. That's the feel of HPS Ahluwalia, the writer of this lesson. He left, after he reached the Mount Everest, he left the picture of Guru Nanak. Why he left the picture of Guru Nanak on the Mount Everest? Okay, because he serves Guru Nanak. If God is not with him, if God is not there within him, he may not reach the zenith. Zenith means the peak of the mountain. Okay, the next person is Rawat. Rawat is also one more personality who left the picture of Goddess Durga. He is a Hindu. HPS Ahluwalia is a Sikh. Okay, so that's why he had left the Guru Nanak picture. When it comes to Rawat's turn, Rawat left a picture of Durga, Goddess Durga, and Pudorji left the relic. Relic means a symbol. R-E-L-I-C. What is relic? Relic means the symbol. Okay, the symbol of Buddha. Buddha's small little statue he left on the top of Mount Everest. The last one is Edmund Hillary. He was a Christian. He had buried a cross under a cairn. What does it mean by cairn? C-A-I-R-N. Cairn means the heap of rocks and big stones. Under a big stone, under a big heap of rocks, he had hidden the cross. What did he hidden? A cross that he had hidden it. He buried a cross. What does it mean by cross? You know, it's the symbol for Christians. Cross he had just left over there. These are not symbols of conquest. Actually, these are all not the symbol of conquest. Something that they have achieved, but of reverence. What is this? It is not a conquest. What does it mean by conquest? Something that you have won. Conquest means something that you have achieved or won. And it is not just the symbols of conquest, it is the symbol of reverence. What does it mean by reverence? Reverence means utmost respect. What is reverence? Utmost respect. And the experience of having climbed to the summit changes you completely. Once you climb up the Mount Everest, you will be changing completely. Your character within you will be completely changed. It's my challenge. He was just throwing a challenge to everybody that whoever would like to go up the Mount Everest, they are really lucky. Because they'll be getting a kind of change within them. What kind of change will come? Not the physical change, not the emotional change, but spiritually they'll be get changed. What kind of transformation that can be seen in the character of people, especially mountaineers, especially the people those who are trying to reach the Mount Everest. Okay, he says that it is in your own mind. What is that changes? It is in your own mind. Each man carries within himself his own mountain peak. Every one of us are carrying one big mountain peak within us. Within our mind, there is one big peak of mountain. Everybody, every single character, every single person should carry a peak of mountain within his mind. It is fearful. Okay, maybe climbing the Mount Everest may not be fearful for some of the mountaineers. But every single person who wants to reach the peak of the mountain which is there within your mind is really fearful. It's such a scary act. You cannot take up so easily like how you have taken up the step of going up the Mount Everest. Okay? And secondly, it is unscalable. The Mount Everest you can measure how much of height that you have gone up. But when you are climbing up the mountain peak of your mind, you cannot scale it. You cannot measure the height of it. It is really almost impossible. And it can't be climbed by anyone else. You yourself should climb the mountain peak which is there within you in your mind. Nobody else can climb it. Your mountain, your mind, the mountain range or the mountain peak which is situated within your mind cannot be climbed by anybody else. You yourself should try to reach the Mount Everest. You yourself have to do it. The physical act of climbing to the summit of a mountain, okay, outside is akin to the act of climbing the mountain within. Okay, it is almost not possible. Nobody else can climb up the mountain peak which is there within your mind. Only you yourself can deal with it. The effects of both the climbs are the same. See, climbing up the Mount Everest and climbing up the mountain peak in the mind of you, both of them are the same. But what is the difference? That can be scalable. Mount Everest can be scalable and it is not fearful. But when it comes to your mountain, you yourself can only climb. Nobody else will come along with you. When the Mount Everest is climbed by the people, a team of expedition, I told you, expedition in the sense, the team of mountaineers are climbing the Mount Everest. But when you are climbing the mountain peak which is laid in your mind cannot be climbed by anybody else. But both the acts are the same. Climbing is the same, but the way of climbing is different and difficult. Whether the mountain you climb is physical or emotional or spiritual, the climb will certainly change you. Okay, so when you started climbing the mountain peak which is there within your mind, can be physical, emotional or spiritual one. Understand? But it is compulsory. It is must. And the climb will certainly change you. Okay, climbing the Mount Everest itself is changed the mind of H.P.S. Ahluwalia, the writer of this lesson. So when you started climbing the mountain peak which is situated within your mind is also the same kind of act. It teaches you must about the world and about yourself. When you started climbing the mountain peak within you, it will definitely teach you two things. One is what is the world and what is you. What is the world around you and what is you and what about yourself? How you have to shape yourself, how you have to shape your character, what kind of changes that you need to get. Everything will be learned when you started climbing this mountain peak within you. I venture to think that my experience as an Everester has provided me with the inspiration to face life's ordeals resolutely. Ordeals means the challenges, painful experiences. So when he went up the Mount Everest, at the same time he also started climbing the summit within him. Two things he had done, two different climbs that he had experienced. One is the physical climb of Mount Everest. The other one is the emotional and spiritual climb which is situated, the summit which is situated within him. What did it teach him, you know? Two things he learned. One is how to deal with the world. Next one, how can I deal with myself? And he was also telling that many different kinds of painful experiences, I just learned how they can be overcome. Okay, when a problem comes to us, when a trouble really pains us, when it started giving us pain, we think of what is this life? I should commit something. So we have no right to commit suicides, or we have no right to do anything with our life, because this life is given by God, who has given us this life. The life which you are running is not your life. You have no right upon your life. Who has got the right upon your life? God has given you life, and God is the one who takes away the life from us someday. Until that day we have to live. We should live. And we are not supposed to get depressed. We are not supposed to get upset. We are not supposed to blame or criticize yourself. Some people started scolding God when the things are not well with them. Sometimes some people curse God and curse themselves when they get a disappointment. When you get disappointment, when you get upset, when you are completely leading your life in a miserable state, you are not supposed to do anything to your life and keep climbing. Because when you started imagining that the summit within is nothing but your life, in your life you will be getting happy moments and sad moments also. When you get sad moments, you try to overcome. When you get happy moments, you try to enjoy and hope for the best in future. Understand, children? This is the moral that you need to learn from this lesson. Climbing the mountain, what is the inspiration he had got? Okay? It's provided me with inspiration to face life's ordeals resolutely. Resolutely means having a great determination and firmness. We are not supposed to overwhelm with happiness. We are not supposed to overwhelm with the sadness. Whenever you get sadness, you pray God and you move forward. When you get happy moments, you enjoy nicely, give that happiness and share that happiness with others. Understand? And the conquest means the struggle of the internal summit is equally worthwhile. You are equal. That means the summit which is there within you also you need to conquest. Okay? The internal summit also you need to fight with. Equally worthwhile. Worthwhile means useful. This is really useful, and the internal summits are perhaps higher than Everest. Sometimes our internal problems, our internal ordeals might be greater than Mount Everest. That's why at the beginning itself he said, the summit within is unscalable. What is that? Unscalable. We cannot scale it. We cannot measure the height of our problems. Okay, sometimes leading our life can be little miserable or maybe little difficult, but always hope for the best and lead your lives happily. Hope you understand this lesson and we really enjoyed the part of the summit within. In the next class, we will be going through the grammar from the summit within. Here we finishes the lesson, the summit within. I request everyone to read the textbook, try to understand the concept. What is HPS Ahluwalia's ideology of telling us how important of climbing the summit within? Thank you, children.